Ah, yes, I see you there. Come, step towards the light, for it is the only place that the shadows cannot reach. I am the old man, and this is the quarters of chaos. We can only be together here in this realm for a brief time, particularly since the warp is roiling with change once more. I speak to you, of course, of a new edition coming. Warhammer is about to change again with the release of 11th edition. I have been playing since 3rd edition, and I have played consistently for each edition. In some editions, I managed to wage war more than in other editions, but I have been playing straight through since. I have seen editions come, and I have seen editions go. Some editions are better than others. I do not know yet what to say about 11th edition. I have not yet had the chance to experience it for myself. However, I have seen Games Workshop releasing some play online. One of them I found to be quite boring, I suppose would be a good word for it. Then they showed another on Warhammer Plus, and that one was certainly a bit more exciting. I liked seeing the Gorkanaut blow up and also destroy the Marine Gladius tank as well. That was a laugh, to be sure, and the game was good. I am hopeful that 11th edition will be a good edition for all of us. Some of the things I have been reading and looking at online, I am hoping that these good things are going to outweigh any of the bad. For example, I am thrilled to see that terrain is going to play a bigger part. One of the saddest aspects of 10th edition was, how shall we say, the paintball courses, the mirror courses where it was little oblong rectangles of quote-unquote terrain that didn't really make a difference one way or the other. In this edition, it looks like terrain will play a bigger role. More varied terrain shapes. Though I am still concerned that maybe, just maybe, instead of fighting over circular objectives, we will be fighting over square and rectangular objectives. But I am not sure yet which will be greater, the impact of the terrain, or will it be same as it was in 10th, just in slightly different shapes. That is a concern. I am also very happy to hear that Battle Shock could be more impactful than it has ever been. It's been disappointing that so much has been made of Battle Shock, which back in the day would have been called a leadership test. They have failed their morale test. In the old days, if you failed the morale test, you would have to retreat your unit back to the edge of the table. Now, they have not gone that far. However, the fact that Battle Shock can happen a little more easily, and that it does have an effect. And unless you get out of the battle shock with another leadership test, you will remain battle shocked. I believe that's going to make it more impactful in the game. And perhaps the old slogan of, "and they shall know no fear," will mean something again. Perhaps the Death Guard will get fearless. If you remember the old days, you will know what the word fearless means. I am also very optimistic about the strats, the stratagems, whatever you want to call it. In recent years, they've seemed to stack one on top of the other, and you would just drown in your enemy's stratagems as he pulled off all kinds of maneuvers against you. In this edition, it seems very clear. One strat per unit, per phase. I think that is a very fair thing to do. I am also hopeful in a very different direction about being more narrative. I like the idea that the cards not only include regular missions, but they also include campaign missions. While I would have loved to have played Crusade in the more recent editions, my friends and I just never had time to do it. This, on the other hand, sounds like a more straightforward way of doing a narrative game, a narrative campaign. I am hopeful that that will be a good thing. I'm also very interested in how they're doing close combat. It seems like it was in the old days now. If I charged first, I attack first. I think that is an important part of the game. This, well, I charge, so I get to pick one unit, but then you get to pick another unit. While I understand it lent itself to some tense moments, I also felt that it was kind of lopsided, unfair to the player who was playing at that moment. We shall have to see how that evolves. There are, however, some concerns I have going forward with this edition. As I said earlier, will the terrain simply be there and the objectives are now triangle shaped and rectangular shaped? I am hopeful it won't be just that, but after the paintball edition of 10th, I am still very concerned about that. I am also concerned about flavor. Will each army have its own flavor? That is something that has gotten lost in this edition. I want there to be some flavor, something different for each army. I also want there to be some crazy moments for each army, some wild moments for each army. I do not want to simply play Math Hammer. I want to roll some dice, have some laughs, blow some stuff up. It doesn't have to be, well, I have this percentage, you have this percentage, and therefore I win. That's not what I want to do. That's not how I want to wage war in the 41st millennium. I am concerned about something else. I don't want to complain about money, something so trivial. However, I am concerned with prices going up. Do we really have to buy new hardcover codexes at $60 each? since I have been in this for a long time, I do have several armies. I would hate to have to buy for each one a hardcover codex again. Surely Gabe's Workshop can come to a solution here? I would like to think. Last but not least, I don't want to have to struggle with the rules. So far, the rules seem an evolution of 10th for the better. I just hope that I don't need a PhD to get through a game. I've had to do it. My friends have had to do it. You gotta stop and read and go back and forth. I'm not saying I don't want complexity, but I am saying that it should be a little more straightforward. One of the things I really don't like, and that's against my friends, and that's against tournaments I have fought in. I don't want to put my army on the table, see what my opponent has, and go, well, you know what? I'm not winning because it just is impossible. I'm hoping that will not be the case. We shall see as time goes on. They are coming. It is time for you to flee this place at once. Go down. Just recall my wisdom. Editions may come and go, but chaos is eternal.